Okay guys, so today we are looking at a new chemistry app. That's for those who don't have access to, maybe you don't have access to a laboratory readily, so you can actually use this chemistry lab, virtual lab. So the name of the lab is actually in the comments and the description, so you check it out. So it is actually good for schools that really do not have access to a laboratory, a physical laboratory. So it has a lot of things, so let's quickly go over them. It has stock solutions, so we have different solutions of different concentrations, and we also have the stronger seeds, we also have the weaker seeds, and we also have the conjugate acids, we have the strong bases, we have the weak bases, and we have conjugate bases. Then we also have indicators, and we have solids. All right, and then we can also have access to our lab equipments like our beakers, our conical flasks, cylinders, pipettes. You also have flasks, burettes, and foam cups. And we can also have access to Bunsen burner in case you want to heat. So obviously you can see that you can heat with this. And we have the weighing boat and the scale. So let me look at this. The scale actually interests me the most. So you can actually weigh things here. All right, so let me quickly take this away. So I want to go over a practical question I saw in chemistry. So let's quickly look at them and see how it works. So, okay, so why is loading? Let me go back to, I don't know why it's delaying. So let me go back to my chemistry app. So why it is loading, I will get the things. Okay, it's already opening. So let me still go back to my chemistry app. I will get the things I need uh, for my titration. First of all, I will obviously need some beakers. So let's make use of maybe 250 ml beakers. So I will want to duplicate it. So let me duplicate this and also duplicate it again. So let me quickly do that. I'll be keeping them here. Okay, so I have three 250 ml beakers. And I'll also be getting a strong acid. Let me look for a strong acid. Let me go with maybe let me go with 1 molar HCl. All right, so we get that. And let me go for a strong base as well. So let's say 1 molar sodium hydroxide. Good. So we keep it here. All right, so we've gotten our reagents, obviously. So let's quickly go over the question first and see what the question says. So it says A is a solution of 3.8 gram per dm cubed of HCl, and B is a solution of 1.2 gram per 250 cm cubed of XOH, that is the base is unknown. So it says put A in a burette and titrate it against 20 or 25 cm cubed portions of B with A, using methyl orange as the indicator. Now, this is the questions that follows after you've carried out your titration, but these questions we shall solve in subsequent video. But for now, we're going to just practically, do this. So let's quickly, we have gotten our HCl and we've gotten our sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to go for a pipette. So I'm going to go get our pipette. So I'm going to use a 25 ml pipette. And if you notice, everything you practically need for this experiment is here. And I'm going to get, okay, yeah. So I'm also going to get a burette. Good. So we're going to pour in our acid into this burette. So this burette is 50 ml. So I will come down here and insert 50 ml. Okay, so I'm going to click on pour, and you can see my burette is already filled to 50 ml points. So this is it. And then I will bring my 250 ml beaker. Or let me get an empty conical flask. So let me get 250 ml as well. Okay, so let me get that. And then I'll bring my pipette, dip it inside. the sodium hydroxide and I'm going to extract 25 ml. All right, so I'm going to click on withdraw, and then I'll bring this and bring it to my empty flask, and I'm going to pour it into the 25 ml. So I'm going to pour into 25 ml. So I will press pour, and you can see I've already poured this, but there is something we are missing. We are asked to use methyl orange as an indicator. So quickly I will get my indicator, which is a methyl orange. Good. So this is methyl orange. All right, so maybe I will just pour maybe 2 drops. Yep, 2 drops will do. And you can see the color change in our base already. So I'll put this and I'll quickly bring our burette and then I'll titrate. So I'll just type 1 and then gradually keep pressing pour until I notice a color change. So I'm going to keep pouring, and you can see my acid is reducing. So we keep pouring, we keep pouring. Yep, now pour. Good. Now we can see my acid have changed color, my base has changed color. So at that point, we have is at the so it is at the 27.10. So I will jot down this. So I'm going to jot down this somewhere. All right. So we have 27.10. So I could decide to take this as my rough. So for the sake of time, I will just take this as my first titre. All right. Good. So I'll keep this here. I think I'm going to use our beaker for the subsequent. Okay. Let me quickly remove this then, since I don't think I'll be using them. I think I prefer the flask. Okay, so I'll get another flask, another 250 ml flask, and I think I will duplicate. Good. And for this, I'm gonna pour back. All right. So I think my battery is low. So I'm going to go back and refill this. So I'm gonna refill this to 50 ml again. Okay, having refilled this, I will now bring my pipette again and take from my, and I'm going to withdraw 25 ml like I did the previous time. So I'm going to withdraw, and I'm going to take it and pour it into my flask. So I'm going to pour. Good. Now when I'm done, I will now bring my methyl orange, and I'm going to add 2 drops. 1, 2, and that will be enough. Then I'll bring this and start to titrate against the base. So like I did before, I'll just press 1. So I'll keep pouring until I notice a change in the color. Okay, so in this case I have 26.50. Okay, so remember the first time I had 27.10, so this time around I have 26. Okay, so I'm going to extract 25 ml again from my base. So I'm going to withdraw, and I'm going to pour it into my beaker, into my flask rather. Okay, then I will add my methyl orange, 2 drops. 2 drops would be okay. Then I'll still want to refill this, so I'll practically refill this. So let me just remove the whole liquid. I want my initial reading to still be 0, so I'm going to pour in 50. Okay, so I've already added my methyl orange. Then I'll titrate. And in our usual manner, I will be titrating gradually until I notice a color change. I'll be a lot more faster now. Good. So what I have here is, I'd like to see this clearly. So what I have here is 27.20. So 27.20. So I have 27.10, 27.20, and 26.50. So with this, I will now go on to form a table and do my calculations. So in my next video, you watch out and then you see how we do the calculations. But you can see from this that we can do a lot of calculations. So this particular app can be used for practically any lesson in chemistry, and you can also use it to hit. But then in our next video, we are going to do the calculations from the details that we have already gotten from our titration that we carried out. So hope to see you in my next video. Stay tuned.